I just watched The Force Awakens, and I think that Snoke is Darth Plagueis. First of all, we know that Darth Plagueis could save people from death. We know that Darth Plagueis could manipulate the midichlorians to even create life. And so, it would only make sense that Darth Plagueis was able to resurrect himself from the dead, or maybe cheat death, come back to life. So Darth Sidious is under the impression that Darth Plagueis could not save himself. But what if Darth Sidious was wrong and Darth Plagueis actually came back to life? So this would be very interesting to have Darth Plagueis as the villain of the sequel trilogy, because it would tie in the original trilogy, prequel trilogy, and sequel trilogy all together. Because Darth Plagueis was Darth Sidious's master, so to have the really big bad be someone who is even more powerful than the big bad from the previous trilogies, that would be a cool move. And secondly, to be able to flesh out a character that was only mentioned in Revenge of the Sith, to be able to expand upon his story in the movies and to really see something like that on screen, that would be phenomenal. Also, imagine if Rey is Darth Sidious's granddaughter. Imagine how interesting it would be to see the dynamic between Snoke and Rey, Darth Plagueis and Rey, to imagine how Darth Sidious's master would react to Darth Sidious's granddaughter. And it would show why Snoke wants to see Rey for himself. It would explain why Snoke is so interested in Rey, and would Snoke just kill Rey because he'd be afraid of her becoming another Sidious, or would Snoke try to train Rey and use her for his own purposes and make sure that he has better control over her? Yes, it would just be so awesome to see that. And also, when would Darth Plagueis have come back to life? Well, he could have maybe never died, and maybe he just faked his death in front of Darth Sidious. Or maybe he came back to life at some point during the Clone Wars, because he does seem to be, because he might be very familiar with that time period. Or maybe he came back to life towards the fall of the Empire, or maybe right when the Empire fell. Maybe the moment Darth Sidious died is the moment Darth Plagueis came back to life. Maybe that was the dark side of the Force pushing back against the light side of the Force, or maybe it was just Darth Plagueis biding his time and only coming back to life when Darth Sidious was dead, because maybe he was still afraid of Darth Sidious. So there are multiple points in which Darth Plagueis could have come back to life, but anyway, it would just be really cool. And also, the First Order is really just a remnant of the Empire, the Galactic Empire, and the First Order is clearly way more powerful than the Galactic Empire. And so really the only guy who could control what's left of Darth Sidious's creation would be Darth Sidious's master, Darth Plagueis. So Snoke being Darth Plagueis would be so cool on so many levels. And also Darth Plagueis managed to corrupt the grandson of Anakin Skywalker, Kylo Ren. So that'd be interesting. Now, I hope we find out more in The Last Jedi. I hope we find out more about Snoke in The Last Jedi, and I hope Snoke doesn't die too quickly.